get started with this video, don't forget to like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe. Like it, share it, do that, okay? Do it for me. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Everybody, let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is Greenleaf, Season 4, Episode 2. All right, I thought this episode was a good one. It's kind of setting things up. You can tell they're setting us up for the whole season, so I don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it. We start off with Jacob in the storage unit. He's digging through paperwork, trying to figure out, something, I guess, that he can use against Clarissa or something that can help his family. At least prove what this will is and, who the house belonged to. Did somebody scam? And, all those types of things. He doesn't find anything, but he does find a tackle box, and he finds a fishing pole, so he takes that out. I'm assuming that he's going to go fishing later on or fishing with his son. Now, at the hospital, Gigi and Sophia are there. Apparently, they convinced everybody else to go home, and Bishop and Lady Mae did not get married. So they're at the hospital checking, obviously staying with AJ. And the doctor comes out and says that AJ is stable, but they will have to hold him for 72 hours for a psych evaluation. So right now, the best thing for her to do is go home, because she kept saying, I want to see him, I want to see him. And they're like, no, the best thing for you to do now is just go home, and we'll call you tomorrow or come back tomorrow. Then we see Bishop and Lady Mae. Now, Lady Mae has taken back to her fasting, so she's still drinking lemon and water, y'all. And Bishop is like, damn, you don't want nothing to eat, girl. You need to get something to eat. Everything that's going on, you need to eat. And she's like, no, I'm waiting on the message from my Lord. I'm waiting on the word for the Lord. And they talk about getting married, and now she wants to put it on hold, obviously, because AJ's in the hospital. But then Sophia and Gigi come back, and they give them the update on AJ. And, they're really tired. Gigi tells them that Noah is coming into town. And she's like, oh my goodness, Noah's coming back. Will we get a visit from him? And she like, I don't know if you're going to get a visit from him, but he in town. Gigi also gives Bishop a key. She said this is the key to the club. If y'all remember Mavis, Oprah, Lady Mae's sister, owns a blues club that she gave to Gigi. So she's giving this key to James. They're supposed to go check it out later. She says if you see fit to make it into a church or whatever you see fit to do with it, you go right ahead and do it. Charity comes down the stairs and she asks about AJ to Gigi. And Gigi is like, he's fine. She's like, he's fine? That's all you got to say? Really? Is he's fine? And then Gigi leaves. Charity kind of expresses her little attitude to Bishop and Lady Mae. And Lady Mae is like, ma'am, you almost got this lady husband arrested, first of all. And she said, well, you invited me to the wedding. And she was like, well, that your daddy invited you to the wedding. If it was up to me, she said you will be under a tree in the potter's field with a duck's cap on your head. Something about dancing in the cold shadow of your favorite Bible hero. And she's like, who, Naomi? Dummy. Who is the only person who is in the middle of the potter's field with the proverbial dunce cap on his head? Is Judas, you dummy. She was like, Judas, you dummy. Think for one time. And she jumped up. She had a knife in her hand. I said, don't kill her with the butter knife, man. Don't do that. James was like, I mean, she got a point. You did throw your whole family under the bus. And Charity is like, I'm going to work. He was like, going to work? She's like, where people like me. And he was like, oh, here you go with this buzz. Girl, get out of here. After Charity leaves, James tells A that they need to set a date for the wedding or whatever. Even though everything has, transpired the way it has transpired, doesn't mean that they still can't set a date for the wedding. And she says, okay, well, fine. We'll just get married on Flag Day. And he says, okay, cool. So then we see Zora and Carissa. They're kind of just talking in. She checking in with her because of AJ and everything that's going on, asking her about Nikki, and basically telling her that you have somebody to talk to. If you need someone to talk to, you can feel free to come to me. And she like, I talk to Jesus every day. And she was like, girl, I'm talking about me. She was like, I know you talking about you, but I'm just playing. And she's like, don't make jokes about the little girl. Shut up, Carissa, with your nasty stinking tail. Jacob comes in with the tackle box, and Zora starts questioning him about where you been so early in the morning. And he like, don't be questioning me, girl. Don't be worried about where I'm at and where I'm going. Okay, worry about where you going. Carissa tells him about the meeting. Well, did you get my text? And he was like, about the meeting. And she's like, yeah, it's in less than an hour. And Zora's just going back and forth. What meeting? What meeting are y'all talking about? Are you in therapy again? I mean, it's cool if y'all in therapy, you know what I mean? And she was like, Nah, I don't think we going to therapy. You know, she was just like, I don't think y'all going to therapy. They not going to therapy, girl. They ain't going. Gigi is chilling, and Darius calls her. She tells him about AJ, and he says, you know, I'm sorry for you and everything. And he's asking, what can he do? And I mean, he heavy on the, what you need me to do, baby? I'll be there for you. I'm like, Darius, you trying it. Now, she already told you she don't want to be with you, or you told her you didn't want to be with her. Whatever the case may be, because of y'all family or whatever. So now he's trying to lay it on her heavy. And she like, I'm cool or whatever. She said, just tell me why you calling. That's going to help me, you know, with my stress. And so basically he asked her about Cal Weaver. And he says he's trying to get in touch with him because he's doing a deep dive on H&H. And he won't answer his calls. And she was like, well, you know, do you want me to call him? He was like, well, I was actually hoping that you would drive up with me to come see him since he won't answer the phone. And she was like, well, I'm exhausted and, you know, I don't feel like driving, but, you know, with everything that's going on with AJ, maybe I just need to take my mind off of this. So, you know, come on and pick me up. When they get to Cal's house, he answers the door. But when he answers the door, she tells him, you know, they want to talk to him. And he said, well, Bob told him don't say nothing to nobody. And she's like, well, you know, I thought you wasn't going to be a part of the merger. He was like, I'm not. But Bob told us don't talk to nobody. And so therefore, I'm not going to talk to you. Goodbye. Good night. You be blessed. They're like, well, she's like, well, definitely a story there. You know, there got to be a reason that Bob is telling all of his pastors at his church to not talk to the media. So definitely is some type of story going on. And he's like, well, do you want to have lunch? We can talk about it more. And she's like, nah, I got to get back to the hospital. I have to meet Noah there. And he was like, oh, Noah's in town. So now he like, Noah in town? My rival, he in town? She like, yeah, you know, he's coming to see AJ. You know, he wants to engage with AJ as a father. And she was like, he was like, so you and Noah got a situation? She was like, nah. I'm glad he's, you know, engaging with him as a father, but basically ain't nothing going on between us. She says she a hot ass mess. And she is. I personally agree. Sophia is calling Dante this whole episode, y'all, and it's getting on my nerves. Girl, sis, you out here looking extra thirsty, girl. You done already gave him up your little toot-toot last week, and he don't even care, girl. He ain't even call. He have not called you. Here is the indication. If you gotta ask the question, ladies, you already know the answer. If you have to ask the question, you already know the answer. If you done found yourself calling and leaving messages for somebody 1, 2, 3 times in an episode, I'm going to need for you to just go ahead and read the room, sis, because he don't like you like that no more. So she calls him and leaves him some weird, long message, awkward, sounding thirsty and sounding desperate. You see Bishop and Lady Mae, they're at the club. And she kind of just complaining about everything. You know, it's a den of iniquity. And we don't know what Mavis was doing up in here. You know, she could have been doing all kind of stuff. And his body's under here. And he's like, well, she's like, you're going to have to get permission from Mavis. Or no, he says you're going to have to get permission from Mavis. So she's like, nah, she gave this place to Grace. Why do I have to get permission for him to do anything? And but she tells him in the same breath, if you don't gut this place and start all over again, then I ain't gonna be able to be with it. And he's just like, well, maybe you holding some, you know, animosity towards your sister against this place. And he's kind of walking around going through the history of the place. And, you know, I feel like if they tear it down or they're gonna renovate it, they need to tell Mavis, period. They need to tell Mavis, because if they don't tell Mavis, it's gonna look kind of shady that they doing this behind her back, especially with that place having so much history like they claim it have. So I really want them to tell Mavis. And I want to see Oprah before the season is over with. We haven't seen her since season, what, 1? The end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2, something like that. It's been a minute. Charity gets to work and her office is being painted plantation pink and gray. And she's furious, number one, because it's childish, because the church is getting torn down in what, 6 days, 5 days at this point? So why do we need to paint the office? That's just stupid. And it just seems like I just want to dig this knife into you a little bit more. So she storms into Phil's office and she wears his ass out again. She said, he was like, well, she wanted a sense of ownership. You know, she wanted to feel like she belonged. And that's, they about to tear the church down in 5 days. You act like she owned you. And she walks out on him. And, you know, she goes and cries in the car. And for that moment, I kind of felt bad for Charity because, you know, she has been through a lot and she don't really have no friends. Like, girl, why don't you have no friends? Like, let's address that, okay? Why doesn't Charity have any female friends? Why don't Gigi have any other female friends? That's the part about Greenleaf that's a little unrealistic to me, is that none of these people, or we don't ever see them with people that's not in their damn family or that don't go to that church or work at that church. Okay, so if Charity had like 2 homegirls, she would be cool. Because we'll be like, bitch, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You did some shady shit and I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have to take it from your family for a while, because it seems like Charity's expectations are very unrealistic as far as her getting back in good with her family and all the things that's going to happen to her if she continues with this job. So she cried in the bathroom and I felt a little bad for her. So then we see Gigi meet Noah at the hospital and he hugs her with this long ass, I love you, awkward ass hug. And I was like, girl, girl, don't you do that. She looked awkward and I was like, you don't even like him no more. You know what I mean? Like, I could just tell she don't even like him like that no more. So then we're at the meeting with Jacob and Carissa with the lawyer. And basically the lawyer is coming in real hard. First of all, if he agreed to have one lawyer, why are you talking to this man so hard like this? But she talking to him real hard, like you're going to have to find gainful employment. And because Carissa wants primary custody of the little boy, and he's like, I want to have shared custody, but she basically punked him into signing the paper, because the lawyer's like, well, I thought you had this all together, girl. Like, you told me y'all had this together, and you know that's turning out not to be the case. And so Carissa is once again, she's asking for way much. Why you can't get that man shared custody? My thing is, Jacob might never have a job, but the point is, he lived in a house with them rich people, so he don't necessarily have to have income to have money to take care of his children. And if you are really that upset with him for cheating on you for all these years, why, oh, why, God, does that have anything, how, Lord, does that have anything to do with him seeing his son? Now you're just being a vindictive, evil hoe. Okay, that's what you're doing. And I don't like it. And she punking. That's why I'm always going to pick Jacob's side, because Clarissa is a vindictive hoe, okay? Period. Back with Noah and Gigi at the hospital, the nurse or the doctor comes out finally and says that she has some bad news, that AJ does not want to see them. And how did we think this wasn't going to happen? Because AJ don't never want to see or damn talk to nobody. Y'all, I'm tired of AJ. Last week I was a little shamed because I didn't really feel no kind of way about him killing himself. But this week I don't care at all, baby. Not even a little bit, baby. I don't care at all. Do you understand me? I don't got to see him in no hospital. I ain't got to see him in no therapist's office. I don't even know what is the point. What is his point? What is the point? I don't know. It's getting on my nerves. It's upsetting me, my homegirls. Here we go. Gigi feeling all bad again. All guilty. Like this whole 3 seasons, 4 seasons. Girl, she been guilty. I don't know, Gigi. All Gigi do is look sad at the sky and don't never express how she feel to nobody. Her and Noah talk, and basically Noah tells her that his wife wants a divorce. We ain't like his crabby, funky wife anyway, but she wants a divorce, and he said he good with it. You know, he trying to hold on to something that wasn't there, and they need to talk more and all of these different things. And he's basically telling her that he wants to be with her, or that he wants to be a family. And she like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. You can't just tell me you want to be a family like you want to order a #1 on the menu at McDonald's, sir. Like, I'm gonna need for just slow down. Like, the last time we talked, you cursed me out. What? Huh? And he was just like, well, you know, well, she says, I've been here for 3.5 years and I don't still even feel like a part of this family. And he tells her, he had the audacity to say, well, that's you, that's how you do. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that was a read, because that's how she do. You know what I mean? She stay kind of disconnected. Like I said, she don't ever tell nobody how she feel or express, you know, if she's upset and mad or angry, she just be quiet. So my thing is, yeah, you're not going to feel connected with nobody because you haven't extended yourself like that, Grace. And that's what he's trying to tell you. You don't be extending yourself. You kind of withdraw when things happen. She felt that because that pierced her in her heart, and she said, you take it back.
You take it back right now.
He was like, well, damn, I mean, you upset? Like, I mean, did I lie? You know what I'm saying? Did I lie? And she was like,
take it back. Whatever you meant doesn't need to be known.
I was like, girl, he really touched your nerve, didn't he? We see Phil and Charity talking about a ramp, a handicap ramp, and some kind of way she swung that back around to being about her, and you know, her dealing with him, and the lies, honey, the lies. Judy comes in with her little tootie booty, fresh and fruity ass. Okay, so she comes up in there and she kissing all on this man, and you know, Charity is like, I'm gonna get out your way, X, Y, Z, and then she's like, You know what, girl? Only reason he marrying you is because your daddy is making him do it, girl. He is still in love with me. And then she turned around and gives I wrote it down. Proverbs 12:16. The prudent woman, a verse. A prudent woman basically ignores insults and, let it the F go is what she said. She's paraphrasing. So she thought she was one-upping somebody, but we know, Judy, we know you crying in the car, bitch, because you can't find no husband and your daddy had to hook you up for you to even have a husband, sis. So, whatever, girl. You can front if you want to. Charity one-upped you on that one, in my personal opinion. Then we see James. He's sitting at the table and he goes to call Mavis, presumably to ask her for her permission to renovate the bar. And he calls, I don't know, he looking on the website to see that she's some big time, wherever she is. It sounded like they were speaking French or Spanish. I can't really tell. But they were speaking another language and they're calling for her. And he gets put on hold and then he just hangs up the phone. So I don't know why he hang up. I don't know if he was scared to talk to her because it's been so long. He didn't know what to say. I don't know if he didn't think she's gonna be mad. Like, I don't know exactly what this plot line is coming up with, but I'm here for it. So then we see Gigi and Noah. This is when he tells her he wants to be a family. She like, hold up, wait, okay. And he got a little spicy with her at the end. I forgot to say that. He was like, okay, I'll see you for the same time tomorrow. I was like, he said it like a stalker. When he walked away, he looked like, bitch, I'm gonna kill you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like the look in his eye. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. It was creepy. May and Gigi sitting on the steps, and Gigi has just come from the hospital. Like I said, AJ didn't want to see her, and May has coming from seeing Faith's grave, and they kind of talk, and she started said she was thinking about what she missed and how Gigi has a second chance to get to know her son again. Grace tells her, well, my own son, he don't even want to see me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what I'm gonna do. He don't want to see me. And she's like, well, who said that? Well, he said he didn't want to see me. And then she says, when Faith died, she goes to her grave to think about her, and she knows she's not there, but it's just to think about what her image of her is, and she tries to think about what's it's gonna be like when she's seeing her in heaven, but she knows it's not gonna be the same because she's gone, so but she knows that's not the same as you being told that you're not wanted as a mother. So Charity walks up, and she kind of walks up to them like, what do you want? What do you want me to do? Lady May is like, about what, girl? And she's like, is it gonna be like this forever? Is y'all always gonna be looking at me like this forever? The thing about Charity is they were not talking about you, sis. You walked up and immediately think that somebody thinking something about your ass. Girl, wasn't nobody worried about you. Not one time have we heard Charity say to Gigi, the person that she almost put in jail, I'm sorry. We haven't heard that at all. But they supposed to just welcome you back in with open arms. Girl, bye. Gigi gets up and goes back inside like, bitch, I don't have time for this. I'm not about to entertain you. Lady May tells Charity, girl, your sister just came back from the hospital. AJ don't want to see her, and I just came from Faith's grave. Girl, you don't know nothing about problems. I once again had a little bit of ting for Charity right there, even though she get on my nerves, y'all. She did lose a child, and everybody act like she ain't lost no whole child. Like, she did lose a child. She do know about problems. Her husband, she married a husband that turned out to be gay, and her whole marriage was ruined. So she do know about problems. I don't agree with that. But I do think that the bitch need to learn how to stop being so damn self-centered and thinking that everything is about her, and every time she walk up in a room, somebody got to treat her some type of way, or she gonna storm out like a damn baby. So I did agree that now was not the time for you to walk up on us and ask us what you need the girl by. Jacob and Carissa get back to the house, and Zora comes in, and once again she asking a whole bunch of questions, and then she's like, y'all getting divorced, huh? You cheating again? Whatever, I don't want to hear it. And she walks out the room, and Jacob like, you gonna let me take the heat for this? And she was like, yeah, nigga, you been cheating on me for like 20 years. Hell yeah, I'm gonna let you take the heat for this. I ain't necessarily disagree with Carissa on that one, because you have been cheating for a long ass time, nigga. And like she said, one time she made a mistake, and you can't forgive her. Now that's real funky, but the way you going about it, Carissa, is raggedy as hell. He said something, why you taking your slut man? She was like, nigga, your whole life been a slut man. Cut it. Okay, I was like, she got him. He tells her that he's going to go tell Zora what's going on. He want to be honest with her. And she was like, if you go tell Zora what's going on, I'm going to take that wheel to the police station, and we'll see how fast James get a phone call. This is how you know Carissa is evil to the damn core, because you're going to not take him down, not take everything he got, because he is the one who cheated on you. You're going to destroy these people's family and they have their whole family living on the street behind some bullshit because you want to have this, that, and that other. Girl, he ain't got nothing. So my thing is, what do you want from the nigga? He ain't got nothing. We know Carissa gonna go in for the big money because Jacob ain't got nothing for her to take. So y'all already know. You just go and prepare your spirit for the next thing she asks for that's out of the box. Right now, Jacob just signing papers, but I have a sneaky suspicion he ain't gonna be with all of this in a minute. She punked the shit out of him. You hear me? And I was like, boy, you is getting punked, boy. What you gonna do? You cannot let this woman punk you like this. Then the baby woke up. She told me that there is nothing God has perfectly built for you that you haven't destroyed or some shit like that. I was like, girl, take your dirty, dusty, funky, musty tail on, girl. You and your haircut. You and your fade. Sophia comes to give Gigi the playlist that she got from Zora, and it's for AJ. And she said, I'm going to give it to her. You know, I'm going to try to give it to him. He didn't want to see me today, but I'm going to go back tomorrow. And she like, you and Zora cool? She was like, it's a case-by-case basis, bitch. You know, we ain't, you know what I mean? Cool, but we all right. And so as she's leaving, Charity comes in, and Charity comes back to say she's not trying to apologize. And Gigi's like, oh, bitch, I know you wasn't going to apologize because I wasn't going to forgive you. I don't know if you know that, but I wasn't going to forgive you, girl. So, like, don't even worry about apologizing, sis. She gives her a letter, this letter or a poem that she wrote for her child, that when she found out the child was not doing good and one of the kids might not make it, you know, one will and one won't. So she said that she wrote this letter. So the poem was a beautiful poem. It was a nice little poem or whatever. But Gigi is like, why are you giving me this? And she's like, because, you know, I know how you feel. You know, I have lost a child too. She said, I haven't lost a child. And she was like, well, I know how you feel. And she was like, if you knew how I felt, my main feeling right now is, why would you come in here and make my son trying to kill himself about you, girl? What kind of person thinks that that is helpful? Now, I do believe that Charity was reaching out to her sister. She was trying to, I keep moving this light around. She was trying to, like, figure out a way to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, connect with her sister. But Charity didn't know how to read the room, bitch. Like, you... Don't say nothing, because my thing is, not only you are the reason one of the reasons this boy is so depressed in the first place, because you played a game with this boy Freedom trying to get a church that you end up losing anyway, bitch. So you think this girl is even receptive to hearing your ass speak right now? Hell no. Leave her alone. Or if you're going to go in there and say something, listen, I'm not here to apologize, but I'm just here to say, if you need anything, I know that you're upset with me. I know that you're not going to forgive me. I know that, but still know that I'm your sister and I'm here for you. If you need anything from me, if you need to talk, if you need anything from me, just please let me know. But I'm going to leave you alone and let you have your space. It's that simple, y'all. It ain't rocket science. But once again, Charity done put her foot in her mouth. Now, I do feel like if they keep rejecting her, that something is going to happen with her. Because we done seen Charity walking around with a robe on too and being depressed. So I hope that this don't push her to doing something that she will regret. James comes in the room with May and tells her that the contractor is coming tomorrow and they're going to start the renovation. She like, you got approval from Mavis? And he was like, no, I don't need no approval. She's like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. So and then he goes on to say, well, you know, since everything is happening, I figured that maybe we could set the date for the wedding. And she's like, our wedding? And he was like, yeah, you know, she was like, we talked about this already. Don't you remember? We spoke about this. And he was like, oh, yeah. Well, first he said when, and then he was like, oh, yeah, Flag Day. And she was like, yeah, Flag Day. And so he was like, but it got to be a big wedding and all of this. And if you notice at the beginning of the episode, when Gigi goes to hand him the keys, he says, what are these for? And she's like, you don't remember? And he says, we were supposed to go see the club. And he's like, oh, yeah, da-da-da-da. It's kind of something that's a little, you can miss it, you know, if you're not paying attention. But then at the end, now he's forgetting things that he did just that day. Okay, he's already forgetting. So y'all know he had, well, was it Parkinson's or some other type of disease? He had ALS or something. He was misdiagnosed or something like that. And then we find out that it was nothing wrong with him, but, you know, maybe he had not Parkinson's. Maybe he had like Alzheimer's or some type of dementia that's starting to set in. And so then we see May eating at the table, and she said that she got a word from the Lord, okay? And the Lord told her that she gonna need her strength, so she need to eat her fruits and vegetables, okay? And so Marisol's like, let me fix you something new. She's like, nah, I'm gonna eat this pasta, but you go ahead and fix me something new. So I was like, oh, Lord. Then we see Sophia. She calls Dante again, and lo and behold, Nikki answered the phone. She like, hello, and she was like, girl, she was like, Dante, and she was like, no. Nikki said no and hung up on her. I was like, girl, listen, we told your ass don't do that, girl. We told you that was gonna be messy. We told you. And my thing is, why would you want to be somebody's second alternate ass option? If you screwed him and he still decided he wanted to get back with his girlfriend, or maybe was even thinking about that shit, I'll be like, deuces, I'm done. I'm not about to be nobody's second choice, third choice. I'm not about to wait around till you figure it out. Nobody got time for that. But she about to look stupid. Jacob at the lake, and he's getting ready to go fishing with his son, and he finds a deed or something at the bottom of the fish in a tackle box, and it has Daryl James' name on it. If y'all remember Daryl James, that was Basie daddy. I think it was his daddy, I'm not mistaken. That James that died in that church when it burned down. I think this is the same man. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong or if this is somebody else, but it's somebody that's related to Basie. And then we see Zora coming into the room with Sophia. She's like, did you send Dante a titty picture? And she was like, that's none of your business. And she was like, girl, it's everybody's business. So I personally think Nikki done got his phone because she was answering the phone. So it was open. More than likely, she went to them text messages and saw that picture and then sent it to everybody. Now, I do think that Dante is probably going to break up with her because of this, but Sophia just need to leave that whole situation alone. If I was her, I would just leave that shit alone, girl. Like, girl, that's messy that he would even allow her to be, because my thing is, she wouldn't have had no access to his phone and she wouldn't have been sitting at his damn house, girl. So Cal calls Grace and he tells her that he's going to tell her this, and you better keep it on the, don't tell no damn body, okay? I'm going to act like I don't know what you're talking about. And he tells her Edenvale Lending. It was a company. That's all he tells her. And she like, what you mean? I ain't told your ass I ain't finna tell you no more, girl. I'm gonna talk to you later. And he hang up the phone. So we gotta find out what Edenvale Lending Company. I'm sure Edenvale Lending Company got something to do with this lease, got something to do with this church. I'm sure it's all connected. I feel like it's all connected. I don't know about you guys. James listening to a record. He looking at the picture of the ladies that was, that was Charity, that was Gigi, and that was Lady May, and they're all in the picture together. So he just sitting back drinking. I don't know if he gonna be going back into nostalgic times. I don't know, baby, but we about to find out. So then we see Grace back at the hospital again. She just sitting in there by herself. I don't know if I saw Noah in there that day. Was he there that day, or was she there by herself? I don't know what that was exactly trying to tell us, but she's back at the hospital, or at least being diligent, being there for her child. And then we see, the last thing we see is Jacob going to Tasha's apartment. She live in a basic ass apartment, okay? And she opens the door and she like, hey nigga, who you with somebody? He like, listen, I need to find Basie. And she tells him, child, Basie is dead. Y'all remember the season finale when him and Rochelle was driving away, bitch? And the people had gotten in the car and was following him? Baby, he is dead to the street somewhere. Dead to the woods. Dead to the swamp. Shout out to Dineva, okay? Dead, honey. Dead. I want to see, like I said, I feel like this was a setup episode. It's setting us up for something in the future. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. But I'll be excited to see Oprah back this season. It is going to be exciting to see what they do about this new church. May doesn't seem to be into it, but my thing is, and I understand going from a huge mega church for years and years and years to a storefront church or a little small church again, it's daunting, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? For her. But at the same time, it's kind of like, good sis. I don't know. What else are y'all going to do? You ain't going to get that other church back unless them people leave, and y'all, it's going to be a process for you to get that church back. And we don't know if that's going to happen in 7 days, 5 days now, right? 5 days, because we on day 2. So we don't know if that's going to happen in time, but we'll see what happens. So I want to hear your thoughts about this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all like my hair today, I did this is a Issa Rae style. I looked it up online, and I have this little ponytail. This is my little drawstring ponytail we put on. And I tried to do what they did. You know, my parts ain't the super straight. If you want to see me sing, if y'all like to see me sing, I just uploaded a video earlier today. It's of me singing for my last performance from my job. Remember I told you I had a job this summer at the theater, so I ended up being in the show. And so I had to sing I Am Here from The Color Purple. So if you want to hear me sing, you can check that video out. Share it with your friends. Put it on your Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Share it. Love it. Like it. You know, I'm trying to get the Broadway when it open back up. All right, so I'm going to holler at y'all next week. Peace.